1984 is not just a novel. It is a warning and a fundamental piece of modern literature that takes the reader on a disturbing journey through a future dystopia where individual freedom has been crushed. Published in 1949, this novel by George Orwell has established itself as a literary classic, and its power lies in its ability to resonate with every generation, reminding us of the dangers of totalitarian regimes and the power of ideological manipulation. The novel transports us to a world where the omnipresent Big Brother watches every movement in society. The story is set in Oceania, one of the world's 3 superpowers, which lives under the yoke of the party, an oppressive entity that controls every aspect of human life, from language to thought. This society is governed by Big Brother, an enigmatic figure representing the relentless, watchful eye of power. Orwell creates a haunting and suffocating atmosphere in which freedom has been replaced by fear and mistrust. People in Oceania are constantly monitored, and any sign of nonconformity or individuality is quickly crushed. This concept of extreme surveillance turns 1984 into a chilling portrait of what happens when the power of the state knows no bounds and when privacy becomes an archaic concept. The protagonist, Winston Smith, is an ordinary man working at the Ministry of Truth, an agency responsible for altering historical records to align with the party's official narrative. Winston is the archetype of a man trapped between his desires for freedom and the absolute oppression of the surrounding system. His life, dull and apathetic, takes a turn when he begins to question his reality and the truths imposed by the party. This makes him a representation of those who, even in the darkest circumstances, retain a spark of defiance and humanity. Julia, another central character, introduces a different view of rebellion. Unlike Winston, whose intellectual curiosity drives him to question the system, Julia is pragmatic, living her resistance privately, defying party rules whenever possible. The interaction between them presents an interesting duality on how people face oppression. Some seek knowledge, while others find ways to challenge the system in their daily lives. O'Brien, another key figure, embodies authority, moral ambiguity, and manipulation. Through him, Orwell explores the complexities of power and loyalty in a totalitarian regime, leaving us questioning who the real allies are and what the cost of conformity may be. 1984 addresses universal and timeless themes that have earned it a special place in literature. The control over language through newspeak is one of the book's most disturbing elements. By limiting vocabulary and simplifying language, the party seeks to restrict the capacity for critical thought, prompting us to reflect on the relationship between language, thought, and freedom. Another fundamental aspect is the concept of doublethink, the ability to simultaneously hold 2 contradictory beliefs without questioning them. This manipulation technique, employed by the party, illustrates how control over ideas can lead to the annihilation of logic and reason in a society. Orwell also presents a profound critique of the manipulation of history. By rewriting the past, the party controls people's perception of reality, and with it, their future. This theme is especially relevant in a digital age where news and data can be manipulated, making 1984 eerily current. The novel delves into the exploration of privacy and personal freedom. Characters live in a constant state of self-censorship and fear, forced to comply with the rules of a society surveilled by a system of cameras and microphones that detect the slightest trace of nonconformity. Orwell warns us about the dangers of unchecked state power, reminding us of the importance of individual freedom and autonomy. Orwell wrote 1984 as a response to the totalitarian systems of his time, largely inspired by the post-war context and the rise of regimes like Nazism and Stalinism. However, what makes the novel so impactful is its relevance over the decades. The dystopian society Orwell describes remains relevant in a world where the use of technology for mass surveillance and information manipulation is a real concern. Since its publication, 1984 has inspired generations of readers, artists, and thinkers. Concepts like Big Brother and doublethink have transcended the book and become part of common language, proof of the cultural impact of this work. Orwell not only imagined a dystopian future, but also showed us how the manipulation of language and information can be a tool of control. He invites us to reflect on our own societies and question how free we truly are. 1984 reminds us that freedom of thought and truth are fundamental rights that we must protect, as their loss could mean submission and the disappearance of our humanity. Reading 1984. Today is a haunting and enlightening experience. The novel challenges us to critically observe the world around us and reflect on power, freedom, and truth. It is a call to resistance and intellectual autonomy, an invitation to think and question even the ideas we take for granted. The relevance of this work lies in its ability to adapt to current contexts. In an age of social media, digital surveillance, and post-truth, Orwell's warnings come alive, showing us the importance of staying informed and critical. 1984 is a novel that transforms the reader, leaving them with questions and reflections that go beyond its pages. It reminds us that freedom and truth should never be sacrificed, and that absolute power, unchecked, inevitably leads to oppression. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this recommendation. Together, we form a community of readers united by the magic of reading and the adventure of discovering new stories. Thank you.